We have Congressman Garrett Graves with us, who used to be in charge of coastal protection. Give us a little history and then what you understand the current situation to be.
Sure. The majority of coastal land loss in Louisiana is tied back to the levees that were built on the lower Mississippi River system. And so if you look back historically, dating back to the early 1900s, the state of Louisiana used to grow approximately 3/4 of a square mile per year. Our state was getting bigger. When the Corps of Engineers built levees on the river in the early 1930s, our state began losing an average of 26 square miles a year. And so then we began having oil and gas activities in the coastal area, and that included digging some canals out. And those canals ended up serving as a conduit for saltwater intrusion and storm surge. Here's the thing, though, Garland, that's really important. If the levees had not been built, those canals would have filled in. The sediment from the Mississippi River system would have gone and filled those canals in, and they would not have served as a conduit for saltwater intrusion and storm surge, which contribute to coastal land loss. So all of this comes back to the Mississippi River system, the levees, and how the Corps of Engineers manages that. You will never have a sustainable footprint of South Louisiana without fundamental changes to how the Corps of Engineers manages the river system, manages the sediment, and restores some of those distribution channels that used to exist that would send sediment and fresh water out to the wetland areas.
Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about your PBL assignment, which is project-based learning. So, this is the coastal erosion that we have experienced from 1932 to what they expect it to look like in 2050, which, as you can see, right here is Homa. And all this orange is what they expect to have gone. So that is really close to home for us. And I feel like this really captures what you guys are about to be doing. So who is coastal erosion affecting? It's affecting you guys. It's affecting your grandparents, your parents, you. It's gonna affect your kids, your grandkids if we don't get a stop to it or at least slow it down. So what are we gonna be doing these next 5 weeks? First, you guys are gonna start researching what is the cause of land erosion and what are some possible solutions to either stopping or slowing down erosion. Then y'all are going to create some form of media that explains erosion that persuades and motivates others to want to play a part in saving our areas. By some form of media, I'm meaning like a video or maybe even a catchy song or jingle or something. What you're gonna do with that media is you're gonna post it to some social media platform. Guys, this is going to be a project that you are trying to reach other people outside of Louisiana. There's people all around our country that have no idea that this is even going on. So your job is to A, inform them, and then B, persuade them to want to find a way to help. And I think the best way to do this is through social media. You could probably get some really good ideas from people from all over. It doesn't even have to be in our country. It could be out in somewhere in the world. And you can use any form of social media. You can use Snapchat. Well, Snapchat wouldn't really work. You can use Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. It has to be school appropriate, but you can add on hashtags or whatever to get your video out there. So if you're using Instagram or TikTok, use those hashtags that helps your video to pop up on other people's For You pages. And it needs to touch some people's lives. It needs to grasp their attention. So it can't just be some boring informational video. No one wants to listen to that. You have to put some thought behind it. For your research, go and interview your grandparents' friends, people that grew up down here. And I guarantee you they have stories. They're gonna have stories, whether it's in Grand Isle or it's in Cocodrie, or they're going to have these stories of, oh, well, the land used to be way out here, or we used to have a camp and now it's completely covered in water. So get some personal feedback from people. See if you can maybe even video them to use in your own video. There's multiple outlets you can take with this. Lastly, after you get your video posted to social media, you're gonna let it take a little while. You'll start constructing a presentation that you're gonna give to our class. This is a very long project. It's going to be 5 weeks long, so it is not going to be anything that is going to be rushed or done quickly or not to your fullest ability. This is something that I want you guys to get into. This affects you. This affects everyone around you down here. So what you're going to do is, after so long of hopefully your video going viral or getting some sort of feedback, sharing it wherever you can, you're going to then make one big presentation that informs your classmates a little bit of what it is, but also what did you find out on how to slow it down or how to stop it, and what can you do in your part. And this is big because it's coming from you guys. It's not coming from some scientist or some political official or someone higher up that you guys can't relate to. This is students talking to students. Now, that doesn't mean your presentation can be informal. Your presentation will be a formal presentation. However, your media that you're going to post to social media, you can make it informal. You can, do whatever you have to do to reach the people around your age that could have some ideas. So your groups, the way you're going to be placing groups is by me. It's not going to be you guys choosing. And I understand me placing you in groups could be a problem for meeting after school, because this is something we're going to work on in the classroom, but you're also going to have to do some work at home. You're going to have to go and get those interviews done. You're going to have to, it's not possible for you to get it all done just at school, but you have 5 weeks to do it. So talk with your group members every once in a while to meet if you need to. So you'll have the 5 weeks. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to meet up when needed with working with one another's schedules. If there is some problem, you can obviously talk to me. It's going to be over 5 weeks, like I said. So week 1 starts today. I'm giving you the introduction. I'm going to give you your group placements, and then you're going to start on your research. I would recommend your research starting with just Googling what is coastal erosion, see how much it's affected our state, and just kind of going from there, getting a full grasp of it. Week 2, you're going to continue your research. I'm hoping at this point, this is whenever you can set up interviews and talk to people around here and get their perspective. That it's very important to see what they're seeing. Week 3, you will use to create your media and hopefully posting it by the end of that week. This is technically still a part of research because you're reaching out and you're getting different research. You're asking for specific research to see if anyone has any input on it. Week 4, you're gonna gather your findings from your social media. You can post it on multiple platforms. It's not just one platform that you can post it on. I would recommend posting it on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and seeing what you gather from all of them. And then lastly, week 5 will be putting together a presentation for the class and presenting it. So after you present, our class is going to vote on who they found's presentation was the most influential and had the most positive impact on them. So that group that wins will then get to present to the school as a whole to let your underclassmen know. You guys are the leaders of the school. So if it's something you care about and you put effort in, they're going to see that and they're going to look up to you guys. How are you graded? Each week, I will do a progress check on your research, making sure that you are finding information that is reliable to a certain extent. You are using good sources. I'm not going through and reading all your sources. I am making sure that you are getting the information that you're looking for. Then you will be graded based on your social media upload. You will be required to share your media with me after it is posted on week 3, and it will be graded based on the effort put in and the persuasion behind it. So does it look like you put a lot of work into it? Is it persuading? Am I motivated to try and figure out something to do to help? And then lastly, you will have a major grade depending on your presentation to the class. Were you well-spoken, well-dressed, and was it impactful? Did you do a good presentation? Were your classmates intrigued in what you were saying? Did you hold their attention? And that is all, guys. Can't wait to start working.